So if it's your first time coming on a live, my name is Sarah, and we come on here every Saturday. We talk about different things. We talk about entrepreneurship, business, we talk about self-care, we talk about personal development and growth. I love when you guys comment and let me know if there's any particular topics you want to talk about in our lives, as well as any questions, because I do go back and I read your comments. But I'm in a new location today. I am actually on vacation, so this just shows you guys how committed I am to making sure, like I said in the beginning of the year, to making sure that we all have an amazing 2020. I am here on vacation. I'm in New Orleans, and I said, nope, I still gotta come on and I gotta do this live. So let's jump right into it, because you know how we do it here. The thing about mental illness, sometimes, depending on what's actually going on, sometimes people will not speak up because they feel like they're going to be judged. People won't understand them. People will just brush it off and say, oh, nothing's wrong with you, just pull it together, or whatever the case may be. And because of that, they hold it all in and they keep it to themselves. If I were to tell you guys anything in regards to taking care of yourselves, it's really important that you know that whatever it is you're going through, don't let anyone diminish it. Don't let anyone tell you you're not feeling the way you're feeling, or brush it off, or just, I don't know, sleep it off or whatever. Don't let anyone try to downplay what it is you're feeling. You're the one experiencing it. It's almost like, I tell a lot of my clients when they ask me, should they go to a doctor and for different things, and I always tell them, if you want to go to the doctor, you go. Do not let me or anyone else tell you that you don't need to go. If you feel something is wrong within your body and you feel like you should go, then go. I have a personal experience with this. My mom, this would have been 2-3 years now. She was diagnosed with anxiety and mild depression. And the funny thing is, when I first started to notice that something wasn't right about my mom, because you gotta understand, my mom is a single mother. She raised 5 children, okay? I am one of 5. And she did this like a champ, okay? I've never, in all my years growing up, have I seen my mom sick. She's never had a cold, she's never had a flu, she's never taken a day off work because she was sick. None of that. She's always just been strong and go and do what she has to do. So for me to see her in a place where she was 3 years ago, where I went to, at the time she was staying with my brother, and I went to my brother's house to give her some things, and I noticed that she was just really, she seemed really weak, right? She seemed really weak, and she came to the door, and usually she'd like hug me and say hi and then close the door and walk with me, but she literally opened the door and then walked away and sat back down because she didn't have enough energy to stand. And I was like, that is just so weird. I've never seen my mom like that before. So after talking with her and everything, I just automatically assumed that it was a diet related thing. So of course, I gave her all my recommendations, we did all this stuff, meal prep, whatever, and she got a little bit better, I will say that, but there was still something deeper than that. You have to understand that a lot of times with mental illness, mental health issues, the stuff that you see on the surface is just a symptom of the bigger problem. So in my mom's case, she had no energy. Her appetite was like super low, hence why she wasn't eating that much. And she just wasn't her usual like talkative, vibrant self. And I didn't, because at the time I'd never really had anyone in my life that I knew for sure was dealing with these things, I didn't know what to look for. So in all of that, I literally just focused on the physical things that I knew, the symptoms, right? And if you know someone who's going through something, being there for them is great. If they need your help, if they ask for help, sometimes they won't ask for help, understand this. but seeing the signs. When someone is depressed, you'll find that their appetite will be low. Because of their low appetite, they won't really want to eat anything, which in turn brings down their energy levels, which means they're not really going to want to go out. They're not going to have the energy to do things like they may have done before. If you notice a friend or even yourself experiencing this, I'm not saying that it is depression, but just be mindful of it, be aware of it, because it's not something that just happens suddenly. Like, I have times when I don't really feel like eating anything, but it's not because I'm depressed, it's I'm just not hungry. There's a difference, right? When it persists, when it prolongs for weeks, months, and goes on and on and on, then you know that, okay, something may be a little bit off. So, continue with the story. After we did all the physical things, she was mentioning to me that her stomach was feeling kind of funny, and she thought that maybe that's why she wasn't able to eat. Like, at this point, understand that my mom didn't even realize what was going on with her, because my mom's old school. I told you guys this before, my whole family's Jamaican. In Jamaica, it's the same kind of thing. Nobody talks about this stuff. So if you're not feeling well, or your appetite's low, or whatever the case may be, I guarantee you they have a bush or a tea or something for everything. For my mom, she didn't even put two and two together that it was more than what it was physically. So she thought something was going on with her stomach. I took my mom to get MRIs, ultrasounds, all kinds of tests, everything that you can think of. We went and we did it. And if any of you have been to the doctor and have needed to take tests for anything, you know how frustrating it is when you go and you take all these tests and they come back normal. So the doctor basically says, yep, everything is fine, but you do not feel fine, right? You feel like something is wrong, and you came to this professional in hopes that they'd be able to tell you what the problem is, and now they're telling you that everything's okay. Now, there are times when you will need a second opinion, but when it comes to tests, whether that doctor does the test or that doctor does the test, it's the same test. Unless they do different tests, that's different, but it's pretty much the same. So all of these tests were coming back normal, nothing was wrong. So now it's like, okay, well then why does she have this lack of appetite? Why is she not eating, like, all of this stuff? And there were other things that came into play as well, because my mom, she has problems with her eyes. She's actually going for surgery. She already did one surgery on one eye. She's doing the other surgery on Tuesday for the other one. So she's been having some issues with her eyes. So that in combination doesn't help. But at the end of all of that, we go back to the doctor after months of tests and this, that, and it's like, he starts asking her these questions, because apparently there's a guideline in terms of these questions that the doctors will ask to kind of, I guess, diagnose depression and anxiety. So they asked her all these questions, and she was basically answering yes to like all of them. I think the only one she didn't answer yes to was like, do you have suicidal thoughts, or things like that. But everything else is pretty much like yes, yes, yes. And I'm sitting there and I'm hearing my mom say all this stuff and not realizing that she was going through that. Because again, she never talked about it. And outside of the physical things that I noticed that were happening, I never in my wildest dreams thought depression. I never thought of that. So understand that your friends and your family may be silently suffering, and they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you. So it's important to look out for those signs in your family and friends, right? Now, at the end of the day, you can't force anyone to get help. But if they know that you're supportive and you're there for them, it's so much easier for them to actually come to you and talk about it if they feel like there's something they want to talk about. So keep that in mind. Sometimes it's not a matter of fixing things, because I'm a problem solver, I'm a fixer. So if there's a problem, I look for a solution and I fix it. That's just how I've always been. Some people find it very annoying. Sometimes my mom finds it annoying because she doesn't really talk to me about things because she wants me to fix it. She talks to me about it because she just wants to vent. And I'm like the complete opposite. I vent once, and then after that it's like, let's find a solution, let's fix it. She's not like that. So it's important that you recognize that sometimes the biggest help that you can be is just to be supportive, just to listen without judgment. And don't try to tell people how they should be or what they should do. If someone comes to you and they say, you know what, I've been feeling this or whatever, just listen to them. And if you do have any advice, I would say give them the kind of advice that just encourages them to seek more help, because you're not a professional. You don't know what to really tell them, and you don't want to make it worse. So just be like, listen, I don't really know what to tell you about this, but I'm really happy that you feel comfortable enough to talk to me, and just know that I'm here if you do need someone to talk to, and encourage them to seek help. Because don't be that friend that a person comes to you and tells you something like this, and then you laugh, or you say, oh, nothing's wrong with you, you're just tired, or things have just been really stressful at work, or whatever. Like, don't be that person, because yes, things may be stressful at work, and yes, you may be tired, but it doesn't negate the fact that you feel the way you feel. So don't be that person, and don't let anybody tell you that. And if you're the person who believes that you're experiencing any of these things, it might be a little challenging to find people to talk to. But if you know that there's one person in your life that you can talk to them, and they've never been harsh towards you, they've never been judgmental towards you, they've always been very supportive, don't be afraid to talk to them. And I'm not saying you have to tell them everything, but just talk. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just get it off your chest. Like, you're literally holding the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you don't have to. So just talk to someone. Now, if you don't have a person that you can talk to, like I said earlier, although the internet can be kind of shoddy sometimes, but we're in a day and age where there's so many more resources than there ever was before. And like, I'm a firm advocate for YouTube, because I've found a lot of amazing things. I learned like so much through YouTube. And sometimes just listening, like if you just type in things like how to deal with mental health, or even just find, if you have any YouTubers or people that you follow online that are very encouraging, and you feel like even though you can't physically talk to them, just listening or watching one of their videos would bring up your spirits, or just encourage you, or give you more encouragement, give you just more positivity in your life, and things like that. Watch that until you can find the support that you need, okay? But don't stop looking for that support. Know that there is support out there for you, and it's just a matter of time before you find the right thing, the right place, the right person. The biggest tip I can give you is finding that one person that you really feel you can trust, and you feel comfortable with them. My mom has me. I've never been the person to downplay how people feel, even if it doesn't make sense to me. I listen, so find that person who will listen, who's not going to judge you. They may not be an expert, they may not know any of this stuff, but they'll talk with you. But more importantly, they'll listen. For those of you who have thought about going to talk to someone, do it. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, crazy people talk to people. No. Don't let anybody tell you that, because I know that's like a huge stigma, especially in the Black community. Like, we don't talk to people. Like, when we need help, we don't talk to people. We keep it in. We don't get the help that we need. Don't be like that. That's old news. Like, no more of that. If you feel like you want to talk to someone, you want to talk to a professional, find that professional and talk to them. Okay? If you feel you want to go to a support group or something like that, find a support group and go. And if you're afraid that your friends or your family might think it's weird or whatever, you don't have to tell them. I'm sorry, I got friends, I got family. Most of them don't even know half my business. I choose to do it that way. I don't tell people my business like that unless I feel it's absolutely necessary. You don't have to tell them. Know that if you want to get help, if it's something you really want to do not let, because you're afraid of what people are going to think or how they're going to respond to it, stop you. Because let me tell you something, you know what's more important than what people think or how people are judging you? Your mental health is more important than that, because you're the one that has to live with it every day. Don't stop yourself from getting the help you need because you're worried about what those people are thinking.